I call this meeting of Select Board to order.
Wait a minute. All right.
You said you were ready, Sharon.
I don't know what happened.
Okay.
My phone is cut out on me. I'm gonna put it up again.
I was gonna say, I think I'm used to seeing a red light.
Oh, smell. Now I'm hearing things. Now I've got a picture again. Of course, oh, the hell with the white thing. I normally would have to do that again. But you want to start again?
Sure.
Okay.
All right. I call this meeting of the Brookfield Select Board to order on Thursday, December.
It's stuck again.
All right.
I'm sorry. I don't know what you're meeting.
Do you want to take a minute, see what's going on?
I don't know what's wrong.
Because that way I would like this to be recorded for the home audience,
Yeah.
so we can take a minute.
I pressed the record button and it was on for 3 seconds and then it cut out. So we'll try it again.
Yes, I think the naughty elf on the shelf has been added.
Okay.
Maybe it just hears me and goes, I can't handle this, and it shuts down. All right, let's try this again. Good evening. It is Thursday, December 21st, and I call this meeting of the Brookfield Select Board to order. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. And we are still good. So, announcements. This meeting is being recorded. I know of two. Our usual recording from Sharon, and we have another recording going on by a citizen. I think it's going out on Facebook. So you guys saw us try and start the meeting at least 2 or 3 times. Let's see. Reminder, winter parking ban is in effect from now through April 1st. No parking on any street between 11 p.m. and 6 a.m. Vehicles in violation will be ticketed and towed at the owner's expense. Snow and ice removed from driveways, sidewalks, and private property shall not be plowed, shoveled, or blown across any public way, street, or roadway. And I believe way includes sidewalks. One other announcement is that the town has just been notified that our portionment of the fair share amendment is $102,281. And does anyone here know how that, is that just effectively grant money we can do anything with? Is there any rules on it, or is that something that we're going to
That's
ask
the first
about?
time I've ever seen that fair share, so I don't know.
All right.
So, well, it looks like,
Messed up.
it looks very specifically just from the letter that it will be incorporated as additional funds in the Chapter 90.
Oh, yep, I see that now a little further down.
Yeah, so we would receive it however we, and typically Chapter 90 is received as reimbursement, so it would go against our totals for Chapter 90, and then as we expend Chapter 90, we'd be able to functionally claim the money.
Okay, so it funds the same things that the Chapter 90 money does, and I believe that's road money?
Yes.
Road and highway money? Okay.
Yeah, that's in addition to the standard apportioning of Chapter 90 money, this is like above and beyond money that comes from the surcharge tax.
All right.
Surtax.
Well, I won't say no. All right, and Brad, would you read the warrants for us?
Yeah, FY 24-12 payroll, $188,066.92. FY 24-12 withholding, $27,191.62. FY 24-12 accounts payable, $128,418.60. FY 24-13 payroll, $193,070.70. FY 24-13 accounts payable, $358,344.99.
All right, thank you, Brad. All right, on to the agenda. First item is the report from the interim highway supervisor. Gary, would you join us?
I'm here.
All right, could you sit up here so that the cameras have a better chance to see you? Also, we're trying to be a little more formal in that people participating in the meeting with the select board will be sitting up here, and then that way it's a little more deliberate.
Okay.
If not deliberate.
Fair enough. And
So,
nice to be here.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you're just finishing your 4th week or 3rd. I can't remember.
4th week.
Okay, yeah, you started on the 28th.
Okay, so a few things. Obviously, I talked with you, Tom, and also with Kelly and the others. I think received the information regarding Willow Brook. So I did reach out to the Bridge Division of MassDOT, and they were very helpful. Their big concern was, do we have to put anything back in its place? My answer to that, my response was, the objects was no, if we leave that open. Well, we would recommend putting egress across that entrance. They asked if there was another entrance available to that area, which I said yes, on the westerly end there was another entrance available. So they're going through it. I mean, Audubon is involved, Mass Wildlife, DCR, obviously, and MassDOT. I would decide to talk directly with the bridge folks. Very helpful. Once the holidays are over, they said they certainly have something for me.
Okay.
To do with that, I also looked at another site further upstream today with Brad, which leads, if the dam is breached successfully, would lead into the other culvert, which is on the west end of that old Route 9, which then became a restorated. I have inspected that before, and there was no obstruction there. So I think that'd be a good flow. And I told Brad I'd be walking through there next week to see if I can breach it. And Brad said he had a permit.
Yeah, we got the emergency permit today. And I went up myself and dug open a path, and it alleviated the issue. She's got no water coming over to her property.
Good.
And it's going down between my property, which is where it's supposed to go, instead of flooding the other residents.
That's not the issue. It doesn't go down too
Yeah.
much. We might fill it up a little bit for a little while.
Right.
So see if we get it to dissipate. So
That's a beaver issue near you and
It's been for like 25 years, and so it's been flooding her out.
So I'll let everybody know. See how we make out when I go out there. Also, I was through Kelly contacted the National Grid for their upcoming construction season to see if we had anything that was in the offing for road construction, so they could plan their repair work or replacement work, if you will. The only thing that I'm told them about was Kimball. So Kimball is CDBG, so I understand it's approved. I understand it has to go to bid. That is, I think, would be the only thing that would affect any National Grid lines. The only other road construction project I looked at, and I actually measured it, was Gay Road. And there's no underground utilities up there. Most of it doesn't even have power overhead. So I guess the bigger part is to see when they plan on constructing, because the last thing we want to do is construct a road and have any utility have to go in the following season and dig it up. So there's a lot to make sure we've had to put things on hold in other areas that I've been involved with for that reason. So I'll stay on top of that, because and I believe you all know that the engineering and design portion of that will still come out of our Chapter 90. The rest is all through, I believe, through CDBG.
Oh, the construction we have a grant for, but the engineering
Yes.
is funded by us. Okay.
Right. So once we back without the bid, we have those prices, we'll have a better grip on it. And as long as I mentioned Gate Road, I did measure it, and from the last bid price that I got from another area, because we don't have any here right now, it would cost about, with contingencies, $400,000 to do that stretch of road. Excuse me, that's 1.5 miles long, 24 feet.
Is that from the corner of
Rice
Corner?
Right, you'll see the seam. There's a seam in maybe 100 feet, and that'll be all the way to the town line.
Yeah, that
24
particular stretch of road is pretty bad.
It's constant upkeep, constant pothole repair, icing, obviously. So it comes to about $330,000 for a full depth reclamation and 4 inches of bed con. So I put in, or just I haven't put in, I'm just thinking about an additional bring it up to about $400,000 for contingencies for replacement of public pipes and certainly drainage. Drainage is a big problem out there. So, and that's just my thought for the board. I think certainly right now we have, I think, $240,000 available in Chapter 90. That's what this year. So that's
And then this will add another 260.
right. And then next construction season, when we have town meeting, it'll probably roughly 167, which will put you right at about what it would cost to do Gate Road. We still have to take it, remember the engineering and design for Kimball. So
Right.
we don't wanna break the bank. That's your checkbook. So I'm just bringing that to the board's attention. Okay?
Yeah, we might want to talk to Kathy and give her a heads up that we want to start looking for possible grants sources to help with that.
The problem, I think, because I've asked about this early on, is it's not, I guess there's not enough traffic on it to really.
I guess the
forget
question
what
is,
it
have
was.
we
Something
done
traffic
it?
study.
So, have they even done a traffic study there recently? Because
No.
that's a,
Cut through.
well, what I was gonna say is it's a commuter pipeline down into Sturbridge. Like it's one of 3 major means that people get from Brookfield to Sturbridge.
Oh, yeah, and it's being used more frequently, especially because of the bus traffic for transport. So,
Exactly. I think I think part of the approach needs to be, don't the police have like a traffic counter they can put out?
yeah, generally I used to, I call it state
Okay.
for traffic count.
Yeah.
Exclusions for anything of that matter, then the state comes in at no charge and gives you the traffic count for whatever the reason may be.
Would you mind coordinating that for that stretch of road?
Okay.
Because that way it'll help us advise, if we haven't had an official traffic count done in a while, it may enable some of the,
Sure, I'll look at that. Thank you.
and you're right, Kathy, because the season for that grant money should be coming soon.
Right.
I mean, we probably missed one cycle at least by now, but usually there's a couple more out there. I know we tried to get federal money for, I say it was a combination of Gate Road and maybe Molasses Hill Road. I think they were trying to get both of them onto a single grant for like a $1.2 million grant a couple years back. And we didn't finish or finalize. So, or like we got it put in, but we didn't get the grant money. But that doesn't mean that there's maybe not an opportunity now to see if we can supplement it. The other thing is, it's for a $400K project. If we had to, we have pretty robust free cash come back. We may be in a position to just fund the difference
Yes.
rather than break the bank on Chapter 90.
I agree. Let's see what our options are and think about how we want to propose this, and if we need to put anything on the warrant town meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, even if we just used half of one of our stabilization funds, that might be prudent. We'll see. I mean,
It wouldn't make any sense to use
No,
a
I'm sorry.
stabilization fund based on what we have
Well,
coming back from
yeah,
free cash.
free
We have
cash.
$700K in free cash coming back. There's no way we should be breaking into stabilization.
you are correct, Beth. Thank you.
Sorry.
I'm getting ahead of us.
We are, so,
But I'll get to that. So thank you for that.
yep.
A couple of things, I have opened and reached out to the school district and have a conversation with the superintendent, transportation manager, and that's just for the event of storm situation. So we don't know if there's going to be a delay or a closure, so anyway, productive conversations, we're on the same page, so just want to let you know that has happened. I did have the common street signs made. I had them made 2-sided
Okay.
for no part. I understand, and I did have the area dig stamp. Now, you already had 3 signs out there. The problem with them was they were not double-sided. So you really couldn't see them. People over there, but you couldn't see them unless you.
Yeah, the one in front of the library is facing the southbound traffic, and it's got to be telling the northbound traffic they can't park.
Right, so I got it 2-sided so you can see it going up and down the road. But now here, there are some questions about the library.
The library, in consultation with the historical commission and maybe someone else, they have some concerns, and I reached out to Brenda, and I got to track her down.
Okay, all right.
I was running errands today. I'll probably try and catch her tomorrow just to catch up with her before that.
Okay, and I'll wait for that. Any issues are cleared up, obviously, before I just go out and start popping signs for tomorrow.
Yeah, I would say at this point, let's hold off and see what concerns they have and how easily they can be addressed.
Okay, and speaking of the common, in the area, is it the town's intent to leave the birthday cake up? Or do you want to take it down at the end of the year?
No,
I think Who put the birthday cake up? Was that cultural?
Yeah, but the highway department brought it up, I
Yeah,
believe.
but it was but effectively the cultural council requested it be done.
Right.
And so, I mean, I would say that, I would say, I expect it's going to come down. I don't see a reason to keep it up. And so.
Where does it get stored?
It's like, it was East
They're
Brookfield.
gonna have to
and
decide what to do with
East
it.
Brookfield gave it to us.
Yeah.
So I think what we want to do is we want to find out which town in the nearby area is having a birthday and ask them if they want it. There you go. It's like reduce, reuse, recycle.
Yeah, we can't take it off with the saturation that we've had recently. I'm not gonna put big ruts in the common. So I don't want to
Yeah.
take it around freezes, but I just want to bring it to your attention, so.
No, I think at this point it's reach out to Bill Simpson and the Cultural Council, and as a let them know that we've asked the Highway Department to remove it after January 1st, and when conditions and scheduling permits. It's low priority task.
Although the saturated ground would be a good time to get the sign the heck out of the ground. The sign.
Oh, right.
The sign that we said we were gonna remove.
Oh, you mean the one on the corner of the common, not on the wall?
Yeah, the before the ground freezes, that would be the time to get that out.
Mm-hmm.
Which sign is that?
You might
There
not
is-
know about that.
There is a pressure-treated lumber sign on the northwest corner of the common, diagonally opposite from the library,
Okay.
and it is south of Central Street. So you've got the common, Central Street, and then what we call the
It's right
mall.
across from the Unitarian
And the
Stone.
birthday cake's on the mall section.
Okay.
And this is on the northwest corner along Route 148,
Okay.
almost across the street from the Unitarian Universalist Church.
Okay. And you want that removed
Yes.
at any time?
Yes.
At your leisure.
Yes. When conditions and schedule permit.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not a rush job, but when the opportunity presents, if you can get the guys out there.
Okay, you got it. And just to give you an update on the storm cleanup, because it was pretty messy out there. We've had road closures, trees down on Long Hill, Gay Road, Town Farm, Weber, which are all working, cutting trees up, removing them. The chief of police was here. I certainly thank him very much for his support, because he backed us up. We had to go up to Gay Road like 3 times for trees that blocked the road. Big one behind the school that just covered the whole road. So Mike and I actually went up and cut that up and removed it and put it off. In the process of cleaning all the debris that's around town, a lot of storm drains have to be cleaned off because of the debris that, with the rain, we got about 3 inches of rain in this storm. It was already saturated with the storm before. So we've been working on that. They're still picking up the stuff. We're working on to do also with the storm on East Main. There's some pretty good running that happened on that. So we're mixing some material now to spread and fill in those ruts, on the dirt section of the road. So actually, not only the rain and the wind itself that did the damage, but it's almost a constant battle. I've got a guy out now that treating some of the roads. I just got called by dispatch before he came down here. So with the warm temperature in the daytime and the freezing at night and the runoff, the saturation of the ground, the country drainage in a lot of sections of town just doesn't work because it was too much. It doesn't work. It was just too much. It just came back into the road. And I know you all know that. You know the road. Other problems we've had, and I've seen water from people's property coming down across the roads and icing up. So we're doing the best we can to make sure that the roads stay safe. And a big issue on Quabog, obviously, as you probably know, North Pond, that was flooded. We didn't have to close the road, but we had to close a lane of it and treat it. I saw some of the houses with the water just.
It gets better.
It was terrible. So anyway, we're on top of that. And the other thing that I've been looking at is the expenditures, the budget expenditures for the highway department. And I'm kind of pleased that we are below, that doesn't include this warrant, I don't have that yet, but we're still below 50% of expenditures for the end of December, except for the seasonal employee that we have to keep an eye on that. So the budget's still in good shape. It's below 50%, like I say. I always keep an eye on that. And that's all I have, unless there's questions.
Okay. We're doing okay for fuel?
Doing okay
Diesel
with
gas?
fuel?
Okay.
Yeah, we've got prices coming in. We did have somebody come have a more, a modern, I guess, if you will, accountable for fuel system there. So lockable key fob per vehicle registered to an employee, usually by the, a 4-digit security code, and all into a new computer system, because that computer system we have there is just default. It just doesn't work. And we shouldn't just have a padlock on our diesel pumps. We should have a system, a more secure system. We did have talk to the fire chief. He believes that our above ground storage tanks are okay, and they're double walled, and we'll be able to keep them there instead of buying new tanks, which are very costly. So hopefully we'll just have to get some software and some new equipment for a better fuel system. But yeah, fuel's good. Equipment's good. Because we haven't had any snow, we've been exercising the equipment, so we've all taken the heavies out and did our routes, if you will. So getting used to my tricolored truck, so I like that. So we've all done that, and I keep them exercising. I don't like things just sitting stagnant. We got to keep them moving. The guys are on top of the equipment with the fluids, the greasing, everything. So I'm very, very pleased with the knowledge they have with the equipment we have in the garage, and also obviously with the town. They've been very helpful, cooperative, and responsive. They're right there. If I need them, they're there, and we work well together. So that's it.
Okay. Hold on.
I have a question for Gary. So
Hold on. All right. So, let's see. So, I guess sorry, Rich raising his hand distracted me. Sorry. No worries. Do you guys have any questions for my thoughts?
No, I talked to him today and yesterday. I'm pretty up to date.
Okay. And then I guess the question is that it's like, have you been getting out there with the guys?
Yes, I was cutting trees with Mike, clearing roads with Mike. I cleaned a lot of the debris with with Eric.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been getting out there and working with him. Have been doing the first couple of weeks actually just research just to see where we were, as becoming familiar with the turf,
Mm-hmm.
and the people, getting to know the employees better in that type of setting. And obviously I drove, had Mike driving around the separate plow routes and salt routes and so on and so forth to show me them. I can pack them in print, and then I took the truck out to see what the obstacles were at any, because my truck was the truck with the weight. So I'm very familiar with the route. When I exercise the truck, I exercise it on that route. So I have to get it over the guys.
Okay.
Been down to the pit several times. So
And how about like the private roads, the dirt?
yeah, I've been up Pine. So actually, I was up Pine today. There's some issues up at Pine. I've been up to. Actually, I had to go up to lane 21. Lane 21 was blocked from the tree, so I went up and just cut it myself and then put it off to the side of the road. So, but those are all private, I believe. All the lanes, the numbered lanes are all private, correct? So yeah, I've seen them. I've seen some units of work.
Yeah.
So they're going to be tough to plow. So.
Thank you. One sec. Given Mr. Chapey has indicated a desire to ask Gary a question, and I want to consult with the board because before we open the can of worms, because if we allow Mr. Chapey to ask this question, then I think that sets precedent and opens it up to the entire floor. And
It does.
Is that something we are interested in? Is that a can we're interested in opening tonight, or is that something that we should that we feel we want to defer?
if it makes the board feel better, I'll go through the 3 spots and I can speak to Gary. It's just a small suggestion for the highway. It's your call.
Oh.
I'll go through the board if you prefer.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you had a question. If you would, let's see. Is this something you could just make directly to Gary and then just let us know what you suggested to him? And that way it's not done officially through the meeting.
The one thing I noticed is the trucks haven't been fluid filmed as of yet. I know they're behind schedule.
Wait.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought that's what you asked.
No. I was asking, can you make that suggestion to him directly, and then just let us know what you suggest?
Outside of the meeting?
Yeah, outside of the meeting.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Gary, if you could touch base with
Sure,
Richard before you leave,
certainly.
that would be good. That way,
Certainly, no problem.
and, yeah. But that way, but Richard, thank you for your concern and your attention to these things. All right. Let's see. So, I think we're all set with Gary. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Gary.
very much.
Have a Merry Christmas.
I wish you a Merry Christmas, all Merry Christmas before I leave the table. If you don't mind, I'd like to sit here and.
I do have one minor issue.
Yes.
So you have much bigger projects to worry about, but back probably 2 or 3 years ago, we had a survey done for handicap accessibility, and it wasn't just buildings, it included like roads and sidewalks and that sort of thing. One thing I noticed is a byproduct of the Central Street project is that the sidewalk that runs from the Congregational Church down to the library, the area just south of where Central Street runs.
Okay.
The slope of that sidewalk went from something that was at least close to compliant to very non-compliant from a standpoint of slope. So if we can at least just put it in the backlog of things to take a look at and see if it can get incorporated into some future road project, or see if maybe we can get some grant money for handicap accessibility and take a look at a number of the sidewalks through town to get them compliant from a standpoint of rise over run and all that.
Sure.
It would be good. Because once we get some snow and we get some icing conditions, that's gonna turn into not just a handicap accessibility issue, but
It's gonna be a ski jump, isn't it?
yeah, pretty much. So we can just add it to the honeydew list, that would be
You got
great.
it.
So,
Thank you, and as I was saying, Merry Christmas to all. If you don't mind, I'd like to sit, as you go over the next, this is the discussion for the next agenda.
sure.
Okay.
Okay, but Merry Christmas to all, to everyone.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the next agenda item is the permanent highway supervisor candidate search. I mostly wanted to bring this up not to discuss the candidates, but to make sure that the board had hashed out how it wanted to move forward. The municipal resources, I believe, is the company we contracted with.
Yep.
Has recommended 2 candidates to us, and my thought is that given that, do we want to proceed directly to interviewing them as final candidates in open session, or do we want to have an executive session to discuss this before we go to open session interviews? It's like, since this is something we all have to decide, I thought it was something that we needed to cover in a meeting rather than me saying, oh, I think this is what we all want.
Let's see here. So, did they give us any statistics on how many applications they got that they filtered for the 2 candidates that they're recommending the interview?
I did not see any. My understanding is they received X applications. They, I will say, seriously considered 4 and are passing 2 of them on for and they've shared the details of all 4, and they said these are the 2 we think are the best.
Okay, so they've shared the details of all 4, and then they've got 2 candidates for us.
Yes.
Were the 2 candidates that they recommended in that email? Because I saw
Yes,
the list of the 4 candidates.
Yes, they were. At the very end, it listed the 2 that they wanted to do. The 2 that they recommended we consider. But my thought is, if we want to think about those 4 or anything else, my thought is we don't need an executive session to have that discussion.
Yeah, I think as far as I'm concerned, I'd be happy if we just took the recommendations from MRI and interviewed them at the next available open session.
My thinking is, if it turns out those 2, if we decide they're not the right fit, we can always go back and ask MRI for more recommendations,
Right.
and if we have an executive session to winnow down additional candidates.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with that. I just want to make sure we all agree this is how we're moving forward.
Yeah.
Brad?
Sure.
All right. Then, okay. All right, I'll work with Karen to contact MRI and let them know that we're interested in interviewing their 2 recommended candidates, and that we'll probably try and bring them into one of the January meetings. Just given it's the holidays, I'm expecting it will be the second one in January, the third week. The 18th, I believe. I think it'll be the 18th. And that might require us to put, and I think we have the Town Hall Improvement Committee on there and the Council of Aging. We might have to push them out.
That's gonna be February 2nd.
Oh, okay. That Town Hall and Council of Aging already got pushed out to February? Okay, then we should be able to have space on the agenda for the 18th. And if not, we'll make space, because this is something I don't want to leave sitting.
Well, I was gonna say, if we need to do an off-cycle one in order to have room on the calendar, I'm okay with the third meeting in January.
Okay.
Second week. Or what, first and third week typically?
Typically first and third, yeah.
And there's
We'll see what
nothing
their
on the
availability
fourth,
is.
by the way.
And there's nothing on the agenda for the fourth, so why not just try to do it the first meeting right after the holiday?
There's nothing on the agenda yet? I'm not sure. I'm open to that. I'm not sure that, given that people are going into the holidays, I'm not sure that they would be able to make themselves available. But if we can do it, we do it.
Well, let's
Yeah.
find out.
Yeah.
Let's find out if we can get them scheduled for the fourth.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with having them in on the fourth.
So. Always push it. It's harder to pull it in.
Mm-hmm. Karen, are you in next week? Okay, then could you reach out to Municipal Resources on, actually, on Tuesday, if you could reach out to them and ask them to notify the candidates and see if they are available. And I expect we're going to want to interview both candidates at the same time, so if only one's available, then we're not going to have either one in that day.
All right.
So, and try and get them in. If we're having trouble getting into work on a regularly scheduled meeting, then let's aim for an off-schedule meeting. Find a time they can come in, and we'll meet with them when we can get them both in together. All right. Anything else on the candidate search? All right. There we go. And let's see, the night of number 3, the Long Hill Solar Array. We haven't heard back from Town Council, so we are going to defer this to when we have expert legal advice. And number 4, the license for radio station antenna. Sharon has, Apple Country Radio has asked that we defer this to our next meeting, as they haven't had a chance to review it yet, and so they're not ready for the meeting. I hope I got that right, Sharon. It's at their request we're deferring it. Is that a fair statement? Okay, that's a fair statement. All right. All right. So now something we can actually do: the Oakham Brewery Victualers license. So Karen, whatever kept them off the agenda last time has been sorted out?
Yes.
All right, then I will take a motion to sign the victualers license for Oakham Brewing Company.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor of signing the victualers license for Oakham Brewing Company for 2024, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, next up we have the contract with Central Mass Regional Planning Committee for the fiscal year 22-23 CDBG, Community Development Block Grant, grant management contract. We contract out to them to manage this grant for us. All right. And I was going to say, and everything seemed to be in order. Have you guys had a chance to look at the contract?
Yeah.
Enough? Okay. And then, let's see. Karen, do you know how much do you know what the total amount of the grant was?
I don't
That they're
know.
managing?
Look at the cover letter. Does it have something on that?
I didn't see how much I didn't catch how much the grant was, but there are a lot of pages and I was skimming.
I don't know about the grant itself.
Okay. They're granted, but do they have a fixed grant, do they have a fixed
I
management
believe it's a
percentage?
percentage,
But is it fixed for all the grants?
I believe, I don't know.
Okay.
They've been doing this for several, if not more years, and
Yeah.
everybody's always agreed to it.
Yeah, no, part of it's just now that I am involved in this, I'm just trying to get a little smarter about it. That's all. It's like, it's not hard. All right. I don't see a point in holding this up, so I will take a motion to sign the contract with CMRPC.
I'm gonna make a motion to sign the contract with CMRPC for FY 22-23 CDBG grant management contract.
Second.
Thank you. All right, any discussion? All right, all in favor of signing the contract, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Today is the 21st. And Karen, this requires a witness signature. Can Brad sign that?
Yes.
All right. Can you be my witness, please?
Lori also has to sign it, I'll put that signature.
Yeah. But if Lori's in next week, she can sign it next week,
She's away
otherwise
next week.
there's no change. What's that? She's out next week? Yeah, I'd have been surprised if she came in. They go, pass that to Karen. She will need that.
Is this time sensitive? Like, do we need to get somebody else from Eric Crenshaws to sign it if she's out?
I can look at it, find out.
If I
Yeah.
have,
I will.
there's some sort of deadline on there that's gonna get blown because somebody from her firm can sign for her.
All right, next item of business is right of first refusal for 57 Lake Road. And this is a landlocked property, has no road frontage, and is it's downhill. Oh, it's downhill from Wagon Wheel. Okay, just trying to understand where it is. Oh wait, that's interesting. The address is Lake Road, but the map shows, I guess it's closer to Rice Corner Road.
Yeah, it says that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's just me being unexpected. Okay. All right, and there's a note here from Al saying that the location of the topography, his opinion was that it wasn't worth us acquiring, and I can't think of us having a use for it. So, so I will take a motion to either, I'll take a motion on this one way or the other.
I'll make a motion that we pass on our right of first refusal. Waive our right of first refusal.
Second.
All right, any discussion on this matter? All right, all in favor of waiving our right of first refusal regarding the parcel at 57 Lake Road, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, so waived. Let's see, number 8, signed
Do we need to
ABC.
sign anything on that or no?
No, just a vote, I just send the vote off to the assessor, yeah.
Yeah, I think once we vote, we notify them that we've waived it, and then they can,
That's what we did.
then they can just say, okay, they're not exercising it, we're moving on with what we'd rather do anyway.
Got it.
All right, and ABCC renewal form for calendar year 24.
That's just saying that all of the liquor licenses renewed, that we didn't deny anyone or anyone did
this is just a list of those that we either, people who had licenses that decided they didn't want to renew it, and those whose licenses we said we don't want to renew it. And there's nobody on that list, so this is basically telling them there's no one in that club. So, so I will take a motion to sign the renewal certification for calendar year 24.
We have that motion.
Second.
All right, all in favor of signing the renewal certification as shown here with no licenses listed as either failed to renew or disapproved, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And Karen, does everyone on the board need to sign here?
Just
All right.
two lines, yes.
All right. All right, agenda item number 9, Cultural Council appointment, Amy and Brandon Vogel.
I'll make a motion to appoint Amy and Brandon Vogel to the Cultural Council for a 3-year term.
Second.
Well, usually we just appoint them until June 30th, until June, the next cycle of appointments. So you do it June 30th, 2014, that's what's on the appointment slip. I know that Mr. Simpson did request a 3-year term, but, we'll reappoint him again in June.
Okay,
That's always how it's done.
so
Until
I'll
June
retract
30th.
that motion and make a motion to appoint them through the end of the year.
End of the fiscal year?
June, end of the fiscal year.
Okay.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All right, all in favor of appointing Amy and Brandon Vogel to the Cultural Council through June 30th, 2024, please say aye.
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 Thank you for
Thank you.
volunteering. We need all the help we can get.
And you're going to get sworn in by the town clerk next week, okay?
Yes, and you get to learn about open meeting law. And forums. Oh, it's so much fun. All right, and let's see. All right, agenda item number 10, approve select board minutes for November 9th, 2018 and November 28th, 2023.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from 11/9/18 and 11/28/23.
Second.
All right, any discussion? If not, all in favor of approving the minutes for those 2 dates listed, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, acknowledge the, I got something here that says sign here, but I'm not expecting it. Oh, sorry, we have to sign the appointments, and that's signed by the clerk. So, I'm so glad you put those sign me's here, Karen. It catches my attention. Okay, select board minutes. Mike's all caught up on his police reports now.
Yep.
All right, let's see, so now that's agenda 11, acknowledge police reports for September, October, and November 2023. So I'll take a motion.
Make a motion to acknowledge the police department reports for 9/23, 10/23, and 11/23.
Second.
All right, all in favor of acknowledging those reports, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, and acknowledge the highway report for 11/23. Let's see, so there we go.
Make a motion to acknowledge the highway report for 11/23.
Second.
All right, all in favor of acknowledging the highway report for November 2023, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And I'll take a motion to adjourn less than 45 minutes after our start.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh my God.
Second.
All right, all in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
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 Aye. Just me, just turned 7 o'clock.
Yeah, just turn second.
See, Beth, I can get us done in 45
I
minutes.
bet you I could have done that one in 30.
Ah.